obviously news last week. Frazer Clarke, Team GB, Olympic hopeful, heavyweight. News last week that Tokyo's been delayed. How are we feeling, pal? Stupid question, but are you?
Yeah, it's when you're in my position, obviously, I'm 28 now, and I sort of put all my eggs, obviously, into this basket that the Olympic Games was coming up, and I wanted to be an Olympian, and I wanted to have that sort of breakout into the pros with a good Olympics behind me, and I wanted that to happen. You sort of plan your life for certain things to happen at certain times, and then obviously now it's not been cancelled, it's been delayed, but I'm not sure how I feel about it, to be honest, because obviously I think it's difficult once you've got something in your mind to try and switch it up and take it a year later, because I'm thinking about what possibly could I have done in this year after the Olympics, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's difficult.
Have you had any feedback on when they're talking about it happening, or is it going to be the same time next year? Are they talking about, or after Christmas, or
or is
it still all up in the air?
The dates got released yesterday, so it's going to be the 23rd of July till the 8th of August next year. So it's just the same, but it's a year longer. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Do you know and you wanted to turn, so basically you wanted to do this and then you wanted to turn pro.
Yeah, that was my plan. That was the plan. Yeah, that was the plan. Always has been the plan. I mean, each cycle, I put sort of a plan in my head. Write down, what my plan is. So obviously I had the first 2 years of, from 2016 after Rio to 2018, the Commonwealth Games. That was the big thing. So we achieved that. Then we had the European Championships, World Championships. The World Championships went a bit crazy. I had the decision overturned and stuff in the quarters to get a bronze, and then so now the next thing was the Olympics, and you just got time frames. And I've got a board in the house, wrote down things that things you want to accomplish, and it was just I've got time frames, dates, and whatnot, and it's just a change of plan. But yourself in boxing, these things happen, chops and changes all the time, but. It is. I can't lie. It's difficult, especially once we did 12-week camp, and I felt the best that I'd ever felt. So it's frustrating. It's difficult, but it is what it is, I suppose.
Yeah. Of course, Frazer, because there'll be massive temptation there for you to turn over, like say, and make a head start in the 12 months. But then also at the back of the mind, there is, and I'm not just saying this because you're on the phone. You'll be certainly one of the favourites to medal. Not just medal. You've got a great chance to get the gold medal as well. You turn over with that gold medal, then things become a whole lot different, don't they?
Yeah, it's the what ifs, isn't it?
Of course, but I know you still had to qualify, although we all expected you to. I know Pete McGrail and Galal Yafai qualified. When was your bout? How far away from it getting cancelled was your bout?
So I was supposed to box on the first day against Clemente Russo, he's like a 2-time, 3-time Olympian.
The Italian,
I know his name. Wow.
He had Russell first fight.
Yeah, I had him first fight, and I literally got wrapped up. I was warmed up. The super heavyweight Camarelli, the one that boxed Joshua in the fight.
Yes, of course.
So he's on the coaching team now, and obviously because I've been in the setup for 10 years, I've known him for a long time, even since London, and. He I was warming up. He walked past with a smile. He speaks good English. He goes, you can chill out, champ. He's not going to box. But obviously, I sort of didn't know how to take it. I just thought, what?
Yes.
When you're in the zone, I thought, just carry on warming up. Yeah. Then about 5 minutes later, one of the officials come over and said, look, he's not going to box. He's pulled out. He's got for some reason. So then the next one would have been 2 days later. This is on the Tuesday night, Galal and Peter have boxed. I was going to box on the Thursday. It got to Wednesday night, and that was it. The boxing got cut off, so I would have qualified in 2 days' time.
Yeah, you would have won on Thursday night. You would have qualified.
Yeah.
You were 24 hours away, really. It was just that 24 hours.
Yeah, so that's what I mean. It's mad because even though Peter and Galal, I mean, they must feel the type of way as well because they qualified. And now it's been pushed back a year. So I spoke to him, and your head's sort of all over the place, I suppose.
Of course. Frey, I was saying last week with Galal and Peter, and I was saying you've got to feel sorry for them, as in they've got an extra 12 months more than 12 months to sit on weight, to make weight. I mean, I don't know how Galal and Peter make it, if they make it comfortable or not. But either way, it's a long time to sit on weight. And that can be the difference with some of the lads, because there's going to be a lot of lads who now qualify for the Olympics who are going to be tight at the weight, from whichever nation.
100%.
And that's going to be a huge difference within, medaling, making weight, and so on.
I mean, you know yourself from your experience making weight for these guys. I mean, I'm one of the lucky guys that I get to sit back and I get to eat 3-4 times a day, no matter what. You know what I mean? But I look at my teammates, and sometimes it's a lonely sport. But a lot of time I'm lonely in the cafeteria on my own. I'm eating on my own. Do you know what I mean?
Yes. Yeah.
So, but for some of these guys, it's not you've got a year. I've said this to a lot of people. You've got a year to either improve, or in a year you can actually fuck it all up in a year as well. Do you know what I mean?
Because a lot of guys may have peaked now. Their peak may be now.
Of course.
You know what I'm saying? They might be at their prime now. In another year, there might be another guy that comes in to take over. So
especially in England,
it'll be bad.
100%. Especially in England, it's not like in England. There's probably 2 or 3 guys ready to step in. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So the competition is fierce.
Yeah.
The competition's fierce, but
the next stage, the guys behind.
Do you think all them kids who were on it for next year will be able? Who were on it for this summer? Do you think everyone will be able to hold the weight, or do you think some, without naming any names, do you think some are naturally going to struggle now to hold it for that length of time?
I think everyone can hold it, definitely. I'm not going to say that it isn't. I think a few of them are going to have to be very, very disciplined, and so it's a 12-month period of holding weight. When some of these guys, what you remember is I'm sort of 28, and I'm a big guy anyway. But some of these guys, they're still growing. Do you know what I mean? Some of these are early 20s, and they probably might even go up a division or 2. So
yes,
I imagine they all will hold it, but it's going to be difficult.
Yeah. Is it? Well, it's like we said last week, maybe, and in it, it's one thing holding away, but there's another.
Yeah, and then the other thing's performing at the weight as well.
Yeah,
100%.
It's still separate conversations in a way, innit? Can you make a weight, and then can you actually physically operate it?
Yeah. I think the one thing you've got as well, Free, haven't you? I don't know, if you spoke about this, you're certainly going to get, compared to most lads who turn over, you'll get fast tracked a bit. You've been at that top level in the World Series of Boxing, the WSB even. Fighting top lads for a number of years, you're not going to have 10 learning fights as a professional. You're going to move, pretty fast. Is that something that might make you think, well, do you know what, I'll hold on because I'm going to pick up more valuable experience in this next 12 months as an amateur, and then potentially turn over with a medal, be an household name, and then go? Is that anything? Does that play on your mind at all?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, the World Series of Boxing, I mean, don't get me wrong, by any stretch of the imagination, I've done the World Series of Boxing. I've had a lot of international experience in boxing, but I'm not naive enough to think that I'm going to turn professional. And because I've seen it happen too many times. I've seen the lads, Olympians, turn over, and it's just like a fish out of water. Do you know what I mean? So what I do understand is that I'm going to have to learn. So I'm maybe not as much as someone else, maybe be a little bit ahead of
Definitely
people.
Got a head start.
I've got a head start, but I still think where a lot of people get it wrong is I said it all the time. Amateur professional boxing and professional boxing, it's a completely different sport, and I've seen a lot of these guys do well in the amateurs, and then they're trying to jump, they're trying to go that fast because they want the attraction, the big money and whatnot. But obviously. It's like anything. If you don't serve your apprenticeship, you're not going to be equipped to do the stuff at the top level. So I'm still going to, I'm going to take my time. But I think, as people will see, once I do get into these pros, it could be a waste of time me having these 4-rounders, against people with ridiculous records. Because, like I said, I've had 9 fights in the World Series of Boxing. That's 5 3-minute rounds. Yes. I'm unbeaten. I box some of the top kids, Cubans, Russians, and whatnot. So. It could be a waste of time, but still, you got to get it just right. That's where a good manager, a good promoter, they'll sort of guide you on the right path.
Yeah.
When you're thinking that quality, so if games have just been moved back a block 12 months, Fraze, when do you think you'd actually qualify now? Then when do you think those would take place?
Well, I had a phone call earlier, and it could either be the end of this year or the start of next year. So. that's a whole different ball game in itself. And like I say to people, everyone locally where I live in a small place, small town, and as far as everyone's concerned, I'm an Olympian. I try to explain to everyone, listen, I've got an uphill battle trying to qualify because you're boxing against some quality kids, and I'm confident in myself that I will qualify, definitely. But that's a mini Olympics in itself. Do you know what I mean?
Of course it is.
It's like being an Olympic gold medalist. You've got to win Olympics twice because qualifying like winning gold medal, isn't it? In a reality, the level that you go through.
I mean, speaking to obviously I've had that many friends that have gone to the Olympics because I've been around for so long. I mean, a lot of them have said qualifying for the Olympics was almost as good, better feeling than getting to the Olympics, being in the Olympics. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yes.
So what's mood like in general amongst lads, Paul, who you've spoke to, and that is everyone just a bit shell shocked for it, or just everybody's pretty unsure of what's going on? Because nothing's cast in stone at the minute, is it? Everything's that far up in air.
Well, everyone's sort of in the same situation. Where if you're a boxer at the minute, it's not a good time, is it? Well, if you're any kind of sportsman, everything's on pause. So, as much as being one of the more experienced lads on the team, anyone that I do speak to, I'm just trying to tell everyone, look, we're not alone. We're not being singled out. Everyone's in the same position. Do you know what I mean? So, I'd say genuinely, understandably, the morale's down. People aren't happy. People want to progress with their life, progress with their career, and it's just sort of being held back a bit. So I'm not gonna try and sugarcoat it and say everyone's fine about it. Everyone's annoyed and upset, and like I say, people have goals in their head, and it's one thing it being on pause, but when you have these things in your head, you want to stick to them because that's just the way a boxer is. You know that yourself. You set yourself a goal, you want to achieve it.
Yeah.
The thing is, at the minute as well, this is another tricky part of it. It's not like, I don't mean this in a bad way, but it's not like you or one of other kids could, I don't mean throw a dummy out of pram in a bad way, but just go, forget this, I'm sick of waiting, I'm going to turn pro now. There's nothing to turn pro now to anyway.
Exactly.
There's nothing to jump, there's nothing actually physically to jump to at the minute. So,
I say this.
Yeah, it pans out over the next few months.
Exactly. I say this to a lot of people, and I've said this over the last 2 weeks. At the minute, I think any professional boxer that isn't one of the top lads that's getting paid huge money would love to be a GB boxer because we're still getting funded. I've got a little home gym here set up. As
you told me you're not doing webs on that. You've done that just for this video.
Get out.
Spider on top of the bag.
Get out. We're still getting funding. I've had the nutritionist on the phone, the strength conditioner on the phone. I'm getting things sent out to me. I'm getting some weight sent out. I'm getting another bike sent out. So I'm in a very fortunate position that I'm still getting paid. I mean, I'd hate to be one of these upcoming pros right now that when's the next paycheck coming? Do you know what I mean?
Don't fight, you're not getting paid.
Last week, and Ash, you'll understand this. Me and Ant were saying last week on the show.
Yeah.
If you're like a young kid now starting off or up to, I don't know, what do we say, 8, 9, 10 fights, going towards that English or area title type fight, not only have you got no fights coming in, your sponsors are going to be saying, I'm ever so sorry, but we're struggling at this. We can't pay you.
Time for any young professional.
Try and find a job somewhere, but what jobs are they? So there's going to be a lot of kids, I think, who when it does lift, touch wood, that sooner rather than later, they're perhaps going to have to jump to it for a little bit because it's going to take the sponsors and people who support it, like you're on government funding and lottery funding. Mm-hmm. It's going to take these sponsors a while to find their feet again, isn't it? Just in business, to start sponsoring kids again and supporting local sport.
Without a doubt.
Not going to be quick, is it?
No, it's not a quick fix. I mean, even in that respect, I've got a few local sponsors, and understandably, in the last 10 days, a couple of them have dropped off. Do you know what I mean? And they're not giving me, I'm not getting thousands and thousands of pounds, but they're helping me out with, just as bare essentials. And I'm understanding of, it's a vicious circle at the minute. So, hopefully, like I say, when things pick up, people can jump back on board and support me again, and because it makes a massive difference. But like I say, to these guys, these new pros that are starting out, it's going to be a difficult time right now.
Yeah. It's I feel for you, pal, because you were to have been so close. Like, you should have qualified night and he pulled out. Then you qualifying 2 days later and it gets pulled. Your head must have been well, even now your head must be in a whirl. I mean, as an old man, only advice I'd give to you is just, and these two will tell you they've been there as boxers, but it's just there's nothing happening at the minute. All you can do is kind of roll with it and just see how things pan out and just keep a calm head, keep training.
I've got a question. So Anne and Ashley, like, what from looking from the outside in at my predicament, what advice would you give?
Do you know my advice, Frey? I was just about to say when Richard was speaking then, mate, was you've stuck around for a long time in the amateurs, and there's been massive temptation, or certainly offers. I'm sure there's been offers for you. There's been talk of you turning professional for a long time. No Commonwealth gold. You've been to them all, the Europeans, the Worlds, obviously the controversy. You've got to have felt a little bit like, wow, I feel like turning now after the controversy of the Worlds. But I think 12 months goes by awfully quick, and I believe, and everywhere, you've been at that top level as an amateur for years now, haven't you?
Yeah.
And I just believe there's a great chance of you turning over a household name. Do you know what I mean? I think there's a great chance of you turning over to professionals, you medaling, even gold, at them Olympics next year. And I just think that, for me, it's a huge risk to take. And I was saying to these last week, with that GB setup, I was saying it's a great number in the sense you have to work hard. But like you're saying now, you're one of the luckier ones at the minute. You know, you've got money coming in and stuff like that. But I just believe if you can hold on the best you can, do you know, all the most you can, to think, you know what, 12 months you've not got weight worries or anything like that. You keep on improving. However, you might just have to be fast-tracked a little bit more as a professional. But I think you have expected that a little bit as well, didn't you? And I just think, I just believe the goal for you, what I'm saying as a mate, would be, it's been put back slightly. It's been put back. It's not been took off the table. It's just been put back. But it's the same for everyone. And as Rich was just saying then, there's nothing happening professionally for a little bit yet, is there?
In a way, it's not.
That's just my opinion.
In a way, it's not even. You've got to wait 12 months. It's not like if you'd have qualified now and waiting 12 months, you might think, oh, shall I just take 12 months? Yeah. But by time you've gone to qualify, this is advice for an old man, by the time you've gone to qualify, pal, which is hopefully around Christmas, for all we know, and Ash will say the same, he's got plenty of pals in America, we'll be telling him, say, boxing might have only just started in like October. I'm not saying but it could be October, November, so see if you qualify. God willing, but listen, you could go to that qualifier and break 2 of your fingers in first round, and God forbid you don't, but it's boxing, and you could not qualify. But the big time boxing gets going again, Fraze, you'll be just about knocking on door of them qualifiers anyway.
Yeah.
So my advice is to go and put everything into qualifying. If you qualify, then you're on your way to golden lottery ticket, and then you've just got another 5 or 6 months to wait. If you could listen, if amateur boxing had gone through a disaster, but pro boxing was still going on, then there'd be an argument wanting to go
think about.
Turn now. But there ain't old pal. There's no to turn to. So my advice is you've got a good team around you. Like you say, you're funded, you're getting paid. I'd stick where you are for a bit. What do you think, Ash?
I just agree. You might as well just stay for the next year, because there isn't anything that is going on. And the point is as well, like when you do go and do it, if you win it, whatever. So when you do turn pro, you're going to be fast tracked anyway. So I think this 12 months it's not a big deal in a sense, because you will be fast tracked when you do turn pro, and the goal remains the same.
Yeah, 100%.
The goal remains the same.
100%.
So it's still work hard, you improve on, because we always have to work hard as well. So you still got stuff that you need to work on. So it just gives you more time to do that. You know?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, I taking the positives from this is, even though I felt in great shape and you know, mentally in a good position, I do feel that as I can get better, and I think I will be better.
That's how you just have to put it in your mind. That's what you're doing. You're just going to improve on the stuff that you have to improve on. There we go. Just take it as a good thing. Like, I'm going to be even better now. I'm going to be even worse to them.
That's it, Frizz. Look, if you can add 1 or 2% onto your game in these next 12 months, what does that make you?
Yeah, exactly. Well, you know, let me put something to you guys. See what you think. Be honest. So there is the number one super heavyweight in the world right now. He's from Uzbekistan, and he boxes out of America. Tall southpaw kid. His name's so long, I can't. I'll just get it wrong. And he's had 6 pro fights in America. Yeah, he's boxing the amateurs still. Okay. Now this is just me throwing something out there after a conversation the other day. What if something that's never happened in this country happens before? Happens maybe. Wow. Because of the mad circumstances, it's not normal circumstances, so things aren't running as normal. Yeah. What if I was to turn pro and still be allowed to go to the Olympic Games?
To the Olympics.
It's a curveball, but maybe it could just happen. Do you know what I mean? Maybe I could get 3 fights.
Even if we said now, Fraze, wow, that's an idea. When are you going to box?
Well, this is what I'm saying. Maybe not as much, but what I do think is if I do have. I think anything other than over a 6-rounder would be unrealistic. But I think if you train for 4-rounders and 6-rounders, I don't think it would have any performance. I wouldn't slow down at all. Maybe if I got 1 or 2 of them in, it would just be like a sharpening exercise for the Olympics. Do you know what I'm saying? Possibly.
Yeah, I get what you're saying there, Faye. I was going to say before when Rich was saying, about not much is happening, and I was thinking, just say for instance, boxing's up and running by September, October. You turned over. Between that and, say, July, August, by the time the Olympics are done and you would have turned over, hopefully with a gold medal, like, how many fights would have you got in? You'd think realistically, even if you was fighting nearly every month, but that's really... Just say you got 5 fights in. There'd be a few 6-rounders in there, then would you go up to 8 rounds? That's the huge gamble to take, isn't it? But I do get your point where if they allowed it, if the special circumstances allowed it, but do you think there's a realistic chance of that happening, with the whole setup and stuff like that?
And what is the quality that you are going to face as a pro as well? Will that help you or not? That might not help you because when you turn over, you won't face guys that are actually good. So that might help.
No, listen, I'm an amateur. 100% agreeing. I'm just trying to look at every possible angle that we could go down. Do you know what I mean?
If you want to fight, you want to fight.
Like, I think one of the main things for me has been over these last 10 days or whatever, when am I going to actually have a competitively box again? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's what I miss personally. I mean, don't get me wrong. I love like being in the gym and I love sparring and everything, but it's the competitiveness of an actual bout which is missing right now. And if that can be brought forward through through some exposure. I mean, I was just thinking on my side, I get a chance to double my exposure. Do you know what I mean? With a professional platform and an Olympic platform, so. I'm just trying to think outside the box because at the minute,
nothing's certainly a possibility, isn't it? If that's allowed,
click it a second though, Fraze. You're going to qualify hopefully at the end of this year, beginning next. Said that boxing, let's say boxing starts on September 1st. I don't think it will, but let's say it does. Say you're boxing September. You box late October, November, and then you're going to go and qualify. You're not going to box pro again, so you're talking about doing it for 2 fights. So the upside maybe is 2 or 3 competitive 4-rounders. The downside is, and these two will tell you, in professional boxing, somebody throws a overhand right with the glove open and gives you a cut, and you get stopped on a cut. Even then, if you qualify and you go to Olympics, you'll have then people saying, "Yeah, but he's already been beat as a pro." They don't look.
I'm not going to get beat as a pro. And
I don't expect you to. But what I'm saying,
I'm not going to.
For the sake of a couple of 4-rounders, you know what I mean? For 2 4-rounders, is it worth the risk?
It's not worth it. I know what you're saying. It's not worth it. It's not worth it right now.
But what I'm saying to you is, I've been on GB for 10 years, yeah.
Yes.
I've had ups and downs, rounds, and nothing seems crazy to me. You know why? Because I feel like I've had that much of a. I've during this time at GB, I've missed out on the Olympics. I've been in a terrorist attack. I've been stabbed. I've had a daughter. I've got a new relationship. Like life is crazy, and it just throws things at you all the time. So I'm sort of at the point of thinking, you know what, like. if something happened, I may as well just run with it. Do you know what I mean?
Me dragging you out of a boozer one night, didn't you? Don't
yeah.
that one.
I got told off. Yeah.
Got told off and dragged out of a boozer by me.
Yeah. But like, so you know what I mean. So I don't write nothing off at all. Anything could happen. I'm not saying it's the right thing because I've been one of them that's been strongly agreeing against you, either a professional or amateur. But now I'm starting to think, you know what? The world's on lockdown. Things are going crazy out there. You know what I mean?
If you was to wait for 12 months and you done so good, the deal that you get would not compete with the deal that you will get now. So that is why you wait, because the deal you will get will change your life.
Yeah, for real. Like, I know what you're saying.
It'll change your life.
And that's a big risk to take.
Forever.
Yeah, I know what you're saying. You know what I mean? Like, obviously, don't get me wrong. I've got all the patience in the world, and I tell you one thing that I do is, and obviously, we all have mentors, but obviously our performance director Rob McCracken, I've known him for like 10, 11 years, and I've got that much respect for him. To be honest, the first thing that I'll do when we get back to our headquarters in Sheffield is I'll sit down and speak with him, and 9 times out of 10, whatever he tells me, I'll listen to him because I respect him. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you know, if he turned around to me and says, you know what, complete waste of time, I'm not one of them people that's going to think, you know what, well, I spoke to him and he says this and he says that.
Yeah.
When I've got the respect for someone like I have for Rob and his experience and knowledge, I'm going to listen. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. You'll get plenty of people because of the respect you've got as a boxer and where you are and the potential you've got. You'll get plenty of people coming up with these like super get rich quick schemes, but you know, just filling your head full of magic and telling you what they think you want to hear. You've got to be on side, and an older man's advice would be nothing's happening anywhere for the minute. It's all just fresh in your mind because it's only happened a week or two ago.
Of course it is.
Yeah.
Just chill out and keep
sit on it
for weeks and just see how.
Of course it is.
And I think, Fred, you'll do the right thing straight away by just saying that. Like, I think you've all got massive respect for Robert McCracken, but the fact you just said that, then you'll go with what Rob says, really, and Rob's going to advise you right, isn't he? Rob's going to advise you right.
You know what I mean? Like, he's got nothing to gain off it. All he's got is the obviously, like, you know yourself, you know, throughout his career, it's crazy, like, the amount of people in my boxing career. I started boxing at 11, and I've had that many people tell you to do this, tell you to do that. I pick 1 or 2 people to listen to. Do you know what I mean? Yes. That's just how it goes.
Yeah.
Because you know the difference. Don't get me wrong. This last couple of weeks, my phone's gone crazy. Well, maybe you should do this. Maybe you should do that. Maybe you should do this. You know, I take everyone's opinion. I'm not rude to anyone. I can have a conversation, but ultimately, I think between myself and probably Rob McCracken, then obviously my first amateur coach, who just like, you know, like a father figure, I'll have the conversation and we'll work something out. But for me, at the minute, this second sitting here, my goal and ambition is still to be Olympic champion. So I think that's a positive. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, good. Yeah.
Your own question, pal. We was just listening, aren't you?
Say again?
So you're answering your own question while we're
for real.
You know what you want to do and you know what you want to be, and you can't. Sometimes a wise old man once said to me, when you go hunting and you've got a rifle, you can't shoot 2 rabbits up in it, running in different directions. Sometimes.
That's just that. You know what that is? That's just some mad Yorkshire.
No,
It's just a crazy Yorkshire man talking about rabbits and rifles.
You're a Degar from Derbyshire. Just concentrate on one rabbit and you'll be all right, pal. Don't try and chase too many.
You know what? Yeah, like I say, I've got my goals. I know what I want to do, and it's just trying to figure out what's best for me, what's best for my family and everything else. And like, don't get it twisted. I said this to everyone as soon as people said, "Oh, the Olympics is cancelled." Other than being disappointed, it's a heartbreak because when you invest your time into something,
You said you had everything mapped out, Fred. You had everything mapped out. Olympics in the summer, to professional in the autumn. Do you know what I mean? You had everything mapped out, and it's like it's hard now. It's like you've got to reset everything, haven't you?
Oh, and honestly, I'd booked the holiday for afterwards. You know what I mean? I was thinking of
that's all
I was thinking of me and the missus on the beach in Dubai. Honestly,
I can imagine. Only imagine.
So it's just one of them, but
Look, it's a massive disappointment to you, Fraser, isn't it? Naturally, and everybody, we all understand that, but it's still a really fresh disappointment. Thinking next week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, things will start to seem a bit clearer to you.
100%. Like I think the main thing right now is for if there's anyone gets to speak to me over the next few weeks, especially boxers, especially people that are a bit younger than me, is just to. The thing where we're lucky is the gyms are closed, but the road never closes, so we can still run. Yeah. We can shadow box anywhere, and you can shadow box anywhere. You can do a ton ups, some press ups, and sit ups anywhere. I think if people get disheartened and just stop doing what all we know, which is to train, then it's going to be crazy. So keep active, all that. I'm a big believer in all that. So at the minute, it's a lot of circuits and shadow boxing. It's not the most entertaining thing in the world. We all love to spar and stuff, but right now you just do what. This is the only thing that keeps me sane. Do you know what I mean? This punch bag here has been a godsend to me. Do you know what I mean? Like, if I didn't have it over these last 2 weeks, I'd have exploded. I'd gone crazy.
Yeah. Well, just keep your chin up.
Yeah, well.
Guys on the side.
Yeah. Really appreciate the chat, guys. Honestly, it's amazing. All right, listen, I need to shoot. I gotta go put my daughter to bed.
I'll drive across to Matlock or Buxton or wherever you're from. It's only 5 minutes.
Swaddling coat, mate.
Whatever. Well, I know where that is.
Burton on Trent.
Yeah. Listen, I pass it on my bike quick.
Everyone, take care. Yeah, stay safe.
All right, take care.
I'll speak to you all soon. All right. Take care, guys. See you in a bit. Bye bye.
Take care, Freya. Bye
bye.
You've got to feel sorry for him, man, because what he's done really. When you think a marathon, what is it? 25.6 miles. Yeah. He's got to 25 mile, hasn't he? And then somebody's
at the end
to run through tape, and somebody's gone. Hang on. It's another 25.
And it was almost a cert to qualify as well. Do you know what I mean? And I think if he had that sort of sat him, and it's like, I've just got to sit tight. But I think what we were saying then, if you wait around, at most, he's going to have an handful of professional fights. Right. Do you know what? If he doesn't stand as well, and for the sake of, Ash said it then, the deal you potentially could have. Listen, Fraser will get a good deal anyway, but he could have a huge deal.
Like levels.
Levels. You win an Olympic gold medal, you go to whoever you want, you get your own pen out. Do you know what I mean? You write your own contract.
Yeah. What do you think to that? What do you think someone just put that in his head about turning pro now and having a few fights?
Well, that's what I'm saying. I think that's his mind is just playing. You know what I'm saying? His mind is just because he wants to fight. He's upset. So that's why he's like, I should just turn pro. This guy's turning pro. Realistically, it's not the best thing for him to do.
No.
Not the best thing for him to
do. It's frustrating as well.
It's
frustrating as well.
I feel real. I mean, when you think he's gloved up once to box a kid who he thought he'd beat to qualify, and that knocked, and then he's got to wait 48 hours and then 20 hours or whatever before they've knocked up.
Of course,
It's just an absolute. He's been on an absolute roller coaster. So his head must be spinning. But I thought that were interesting, where he said he thought every kid who were in it would be able to hold the weight for another 12 months. Because I thought some would maybe struggle.
Yeah, so I think, like I said, he said there's some who are going to have to be very careful.
Yeah.
And that's a thing there, like, where if someone is tight and they're determined they want to train hard, but it's like, now you might not be able to lift any more than you want to lift because there's muscle that goes on and stuff with that. Like Fraser said, one being an heavyweight, but Fraser's 28, whereas some of those kids, they've been holding the body back. They're early 20s. Some of them will fly through the weight.
Yeah, it's a long time. If you're growing and you're maturing,
it's going to be hard for a lot of them.
It's a long time to hold it, innit, that? Especially, for them who qualified, who like the desperation to qualify and stay on, it's not quite as strong because they're already there. It's quite a reach, that, innit, to hang on.
And then saying now as well, like the 3 or the 4 months that they might be off, so they're going to be putting on weight now, so they, so then they got to start again to get the weight down. So all of that is annoying, and it takes its toll as well.
Yeah, no, I really feel I've known Fraser years. He's a proper nice Fraser.
Yeah.
Sorry for him, but it's kind of a situation all sports in, isn't it? So it's
He's got to deal with it. You got to deal with it.
Yeah, you just got to have that mentality. In there and deal with it.
Yeah.
So fingers crossed it works out for him, but I'm sure dead right when he spoke to everyone.
Well, I think for him it will, because he's like the older one. So he's the one who, you know what I'm saying, he's been through a lot of the ups and downs.
Yeah.
So this is just another down. So I think for him in his mind, I think he will be strong enough to still get the best out of himself in another year's time.
That's sort of what I was going to say. I think because he's had some ups and downs. This hopefully will just be another chapter. Just another chapter, isn't it?
Another one, yeah.
So if we're getting his advice, I'm saying just stay amateur.
Yes.
Without a doubt, just stay. Turn over next year, household name with him. And listen, I wasn't just saying it because Frazer's got a great chance of medaling. And listen, you medal. That medal could be a gold one, like you said.
It's nuts, isn't it? What heavyweight boxing's doing at the minute. Why risk it for a couple of 4-rounders?
It's not worth it. It's not worth it.
Nuts.
It don't make sense.
Hope you enjoyed Blackout Barber Show. Please like and subscribe. And if you've got any complaints, remember, my name's Richard Poxon. Just saying. And that's Johnny Nelson.